All right.
So Pat Premick, it's Thursday night, right? I think it's Thursday night.
Thursday
Thursday
morning
night,
here. Yeah.
Thursday night, 11 p.m. in Taiwan. Tuesday morning, I leave Taiwan and fly to Thailand. So I got back here on December 7th, and it has been a blitz and then I had a conference in Thailand in early January. And so, since that whole time, it has been the blitz of literally selling everything that I own because the first question that I had was, would my landlord buy all of my furniture? And the answer was no. And so that was just a game changer. Right now, I have to spend massive amounts of time and try and figure out how to do this. And we also have Facebook Marketplace. So that's where I sold my major pieces of furniture for something, at least. Not great prices, but something. So praise God that all happened. But the big one was the car, because that's just too much money, and I need all of that money to buy my next car. And so I decided, it literally had no interest at all on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, I know this is a valid price for this car. And it was just not having any interest at all. And so I thought, what the heck? I'm in a complex that has 20 buildings. And so we have an underground parking garage. And I thought, the heck, I'm going to put a sign on my front window and my back window under the windshield wiper, and the Honda 2003, my name, phone number, line ID, and then I added in Chinese as well, and a lot of furniture. And so my neighbor upstairs calls me and says, "Hey, I want to look at your furniture." So he bought some furniture. And then one day, 2 days before my movers are coming, I get a phone call late at night, but it was late at night. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I am knee deep and trying to get my stuff, so I didn't answer the phone. They called back Wednesday morning. And I don't know if any other foreigners do this, but if I don't know the phone number, I answer the phone in English, right? Because if it's a salesperson, they'll usually give up. But this person is not giving up. And so finally, she's not giving up. And then I hear her say in Chinese, she's like, "Hey, I'm interested about your car." And so then I jump into Chinese, and she has two questions: what's your mileage? And what's the price? And I told her, and she said, "I'll think about it." I'm like, okay. That evening is Wednesday. I decide I don't have time to get on the prayer call with my church because my movers are coming the next day. I am, still preparing everything. And she calls me and says, "I want to buy your car. When are you free?" And I'm like, I'm free tonight, and then not until Saturday, because Thursday are my movers. Friday, I have six people coming to pick up furniture all throughout the day. And she says, "I'll meet you in 10 minutes at your car." I'm like, ah, ah. So this is me shoving, an email out to Facebook. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I have somebody really interested. They were so sweet. They live in my complex. And I had a feeling that they did, because they didn't say, "Hey, a friend of mine gave me your information. I saw it on Facebook." And so I'm thinking, I think you're in my complex. They didn't want to drive the thing. They had a couple of questions, although they did give me a 7-page contract in Chinese that I had to fill out. It was a standard government contract, though. And that took me time. It was a little bit rough on all the things that I still had to do from a legal standpoint. Um, and we're closed for the holidays because it was the Chinese New Year. So there was literally no way for me to get this done until things opened again on Monday. And so we're meeting on Wednesday. They transfer money to me uh, through our bank account, and we're walking away. And she says, "Hey, you have to take that sign down. You sold this car." So I pulled the signs off. So she gave me hand money to essentially to reserve the car. Um, So yeah, it went really well. I had to do a whole bunch of things on Monday morning. Went with them 2 hours Monday afternoon, and everything transferred. So that was like massive relief. And she had planned ahead. She knew how much money she could transfer uh, by account to account, and the rest of it she gave me in cash. So just very sweet people, and it went really well. So that was the biggest thing again, because I needed all of that money to buy my next car. So praise God. All these little things and little appliances, I was really disappointed, quite frankly. I think part of it is Taiwan. I think part of it is where I live. It's going to be a different situation in Thailand because there's so many foreigners there. Um, Nobody really knew what a yard sale was or a moving sale. Like four people came out of my church of a couple hundred. I'm like, what? What? So yeah, I made something, on the sales, but God will take care of that. So again, I have one thing to do, and that is to withdraw all of my cash and close my bank account tomorrow. And thankfully, our pastor, for whatever reason, has his American checkbook here. So I can give him Taiwan dollars and he can write me a check. And then I'll be able to easily, through my bank account or my bank app, snap the pictures of that check and get the money deposited. Because it's not a small amount of money there either, because some of these sales that I've made have come in after I did my large wire transfer. So my my Chinese family, we did a video this week. It was the mom's birthday, and they're just thrilled, and they're coming, right? They're coming the end of April. I'm like, why are you coming the end of April? Well, it's a holiday. So May 1st is Labor Day in China, and so they have time off. And so I knew they were coming, but I didn't know why. So I'm like, okay, well, I know I need to go find a place to live. So now when I get there, we'll be find the house, get the certificate for residence, open the bank account, get the car. Yes, so I am worn out actually. So hopefully I'm going to be able to take a couple of days once I get a roof over my head. I mean, I'm moving in with my teammates, so that's settled. But at least to find a place to live, and hopefully it'll be somewhat furnished. So, but I will definitely need some downtime because this has been a lot of work on my own. Yeah.
Adrenaline
So,
time for now, right? Yeah,
oh,
yeah. And that
man,
only lasts
yes.
so long. Yeah. Well, it's so funny because you had so much to do and you're questioning so
Oh,
much. How is this ever going to take place? And it seemed like all the ducks just were right in the right
yeah.
order at the last minute, right?
And
Ah,
literally nothing you can do to control it,
yeah, right.
and I'm
You were
like,
doing
okay, well, if
everything possible.
yeah, if worst comes to worst, I don't close the bank account because things still have to come through it, but it all came in.
And didn't you meet some people as you were taking some items to the dumpster because it was just time? And so you met some people and you fulfilled some needs and had built some relationships. And
Yes. Oh my gosh.
yeah, isn't that cool?
That's been one of the sweetest things of just the kindness of acquaintances here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I take a picture with my breakfast people that have the, dalubing, and they're like, "Oh, we have to take our masks down." Oh, like I just walk up and they know what I want. Um, so sweet with the acquaintances. I have truly appreciated that aspect of this culture. Yeah, truly. Yep.
So lots of praises. I guess some of the prayers are for housing, bank account, the certification,
Yes.
right? The visa
Right.
stuff, right? What else are you praying for? Safety and travels. Are you shipping items from Taiwan to Thailand?
I am. I
Of
cannot
course.
ship them until I have an address.
I see. So
Yeah.
your pastor or someone at the church is going to take care of that for you,
Oh, no,
or
no, no. It's actually with the same moving company that I used from China to here because my stuff
okay.
sat in storage for 10 months,
Yeah.
temperature and humidity controlled. so that it came here in perfect shape. And
Wow.
so it's the same. It's in a temperature controlled storage until I've got the address to send it, and so then that would take like 2 weeks. So
Right.
yeah,
Well done. Good and faithful servant.
amen.
Coming from the US for a few months, a flurry of activity, going
Yeah,
back, wondering how it's all going to happen,
yeah.
waiting, wondering, maybe a little bit of worrying, and yay, God, for the rescue again, right? Yeah.
And it's like I don't know why. Like God always comes through. My brother's like, it always works out, Pat. I'm like, you're right. I mean, it always does, and I know that, but just the stress of not having the answers and having to create another plan if it doesn't work this way. What are my other options? And so your brain is just always going. So sometimes I was just up so early in the morning because my brain would just start going with the details. Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yep. He's good.
Well, he's very good.